I, 41, cheated on my husband, 62. I feel bad for saying that I always craved younger men, but fate gave me my husband. I know my story will be nauseating to most, so be warned. I met my husband over a decade ago. I was broke, no job, no degree, no house, no nothing, and was working in a bar. At that point in my life, I was willing to do anything to have a roof over my head, or food in my plate without having to sleep with the bar owner after the work hours. So I seduced my husband, and within months we were married. His family objected. They saw right through me. They cut him off, but he chose me, and I him. I was finally at peace after struggling since I was 16. My husband is a reasonably affluent man, and he made sure I was provided for. He was enamored. I finally had everything, and I was completely devoted and faithful. That was until 2 years ago. I met the AP at a coffee shop located next to the company where my husband works. It was a popular hangout for me and the girls, wives of other executives and higher-ups. When I first noticed him, I felt like my insides were on fire. I've slept with many men, but this was a feeling that was incomparable to any. The AP was only 26 years old and was simply delicious. I resisted the urge for so long, especially when I first thought that he wasn't interested in me. But we started chatting whenever I grabbed my coffee. He started asking about my day a lot, and I looked forward to chatting. Gradually, we shifted to constantly texting, then sexting, then having sex frequently. He was the highlight of my day, and I couldn't get enough of him. One day, my daughter video called me while I was at his place. That was the moment things started to unravel. I felt like she got suspicious about where I was. I was careful after that and avoided seeing AP for a brief time, but soon I forgot the danger. I was like a moth to the flame. I couldn't stay away. We continued our fun times for a while after that, but then my husband found out. He went through my phone, and I was speechless when he confronted me. My daughter had voiced her suspicions to him, and he went prying. Like a fool, I delivered every incriminating piece of evidence to him. I never deleted my texts nor locked my gallery. I never thought my husband was tech-savvy enough to break into my phone. D-Day was 3 weeks ago. He made me leave the house that same day. I don't go to that coffee shop anymore. I haven't seen nor talked to my AP in 3 weeks. I blocked him everywhere, and I am ready to have my old life back. But my husband doesn't respond. I'm living in a friend's house, sleeping on her couch. I'm already sick of my life. I have no money. I want my life back. I curse myself every day for forgetting how cushiony my life was because my husband made it so, and how miserable my life was before I met him. My husband trusted me with everything he had. How could I tell him that I needed a spark, that I craved someone younger, and that it was something I couldn't control in myself? It is too harsh to say to anyone. I need to know if anyone else has ever gone through this. I have tried everything. I reached out to his family. I went to where he works, to our home, and I waited at his door, but he never accepted to talk to me. I am so ashamed. How am I going to face my daughter? She doesn't call or text anymore. I keep telling myself that she's busy, but something tells me she's ignoring me too. All of this pain is too heavy on my shoulders. Please help. How do you convince someone to see you and listen to you? I feel hopeless, and I deeply regret what I have done. Edit. Cheating made me feel as if I were getting my revenge on my marriage to a man I never desired, and yes, never loved. It was thrilling to break free and feel unchained for once. My husband has always been good to me. He doesn't deserve it, I know. He used to focus only on his job and sink into this routine of his that he created then worshipped like a religion. He never wanted to try new things or visit new places. I felt so alone and bored. I had nothing exciting. Just my lame friends, and even my daughter, who used to keep me company, moved away to finish her college degree in a different state. Update. I received divorce papers today. I'm freaking out. I've been living on my friend's couch for weeks now and eating SpaghettiOs. It's a horrible way to live. Was hoping that my husband would reach out, at least to see me or hear my voice. God knows I tried everything to reach him, to apologize, to make him understand how much I regret what I did. But now it's all over. The papers have put a firm finality to things. It's frightening. It's maddening. that he could be so cold. I'm trapped in a cycle of regret and self-hate. I wake up every day regretting the choices I made, and I hate myself for not respecting the life I had. I had it all: a stable home, financial security, a man who cared for me, and I threw it away for a barista. I knew my husband didn't deserve it, but I felt trapped in a life that I didn't choose, married to a man I didn't love the way a wife should, and now I'm paying the price. The last few weeks have been absolute hell. I've been in complete mental anguish, watching my life crumble around me. The anxiety, the guilt, the realization that I've destroyed my own life. It's all too much. I keep going over everything in my head, trying to make sense of it. Maybe my husband never felt emotionally safe with me after I betrayed him. Maybe that's why he's shutting me out now. I don't blame him for not wanting to hear me out, but it hurts so much to face the consequences of my actions. I've read everything I can about infidelity and the trauma it causes. I've been lurking on these forums, trying to find stories like mine, where someone betrays their partner and then ends up feeling betrayed by their own actions. I know I started this chain reaction. I know I'm responsible for this mess, but knowing that doesn't make the pain go away. It's this feeling of worthlessness, like, I don't deserve to be happy anymore. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to face my daughter, who isn't speaking to me. How can she take her stepdad's side in this and not mine? I have no one now. I don't know how to forgive myself, or if I even should. My husband was good to me, better than I deserved, and I ruined everything. I keep wondering if I'll ever find someone with the same qualities he had. But I know I can't dwell on that now. I need to figure out how to live with what I've done. The only small silver lining is that I know I'll never betray or lie to anyone again, not even a stranger. I've learned my lesson in the hardest way possible, and I wouldn't wish this feeling on anyone. If anyone out there has been through something like this, I could really use some advice. I'm completely lost. Story 2. I was a cheater and I regret it. The reasons I did it are irrelevant. It doesn't matter the reason, because I was wrong. It was a bad thing for me to do to someone who trusted me, and it's not who I want to be. However, a background, since I'm sure you're curious. We were together for 5 years at the time. He had 3 teenage boys with his high school sweetheart, and she ended up stealing, cheating, and leaving him with the kids for almost a year before coming back to play the good mom. His kids had grown up a bit and wanted to be with their dad, which I understood. I tried my best to mentally prepare living with that many boys in the house, but I wasn't prepared for it. I hated being at home. They made a mess of the place, and he didn't make them clean up or anything. I was in a losing battle in my own home and had no support from him while he drank and passed out in the lazy boy every night. I slept alone, ate alone, cleaned alone, and went to friends' houses and events alone. I didn't know what to do, what he needed, what I needed, what the right thing to do was. I did try talking to him, but it just didn't get through for some reason or another. I could blame his drinking, but I could also blame my own communication skills because I gave up on talking to him. Because of my frustrations in the home, I wasn't wanting to have as much sex there or with him. So I decided to cheat with a guy who would come into my office and flirt with me. We would talk a lot about things we had in common and our hobbies. We would even hang out together, a small common group of friends. I told him very clearly that I wasn't leaving my man. I just wanted to cheat and have someone to talk, shamash, vent to, and he fully accepted it for what it was. He would take me back to his place after hanging out with friends and drop me off back home at the end of the evening. It was fairly straightforward, and I didn't really catch strong feels like most people seem to. I think because I really do love my man in my heart, but we had connected in various ways, and I was attached to him at some point, at some level. He had his own relationship problems with an ex, and so we were each other's vent-safe space. In the end, I got caught via computer, left my messages on Facebook open. He read the whole thing while I was at work, and I came home to a drunk, angry boyfriend. It was a shit show, an argument that went on for weeks, but we didn't want to end the relationship because we were now 6 years in and still loved each other, and then we did something truly stupid. We tried bringing my cheater man into our sex life. Was it exciting? Hell yes. Was it good for our relationship? Hell no. Eventually, other guy got a girlfriend and our sexcapades stopped. My boyfriend and I have stayed together since then, trying our best. We did couples counseling, but then we lost our funding for that after a year. Poor people can get donations from churches and other places for therapy. We had many talks about the future and have done our best to work through it, but it still hasn't been enough. He doesn't trust me the way he used to, and our intimate moments haven't changed very much. I still sleep alone, eat alone, and hang with friends and attend events alone, but we sometimes have sex and we still do things to take care of each other. We aren't breaking up, but we are separating our living situation. I completely regret everything about what I did. I don't know exactly what I should have done, but it wasn't that. Now I have to watch him leave our home together after almost 11 years, 7 living together, and although we aren't breaking up, it still hurts and is difficult. If you are reading this and were considering cheating, just don't. It won't fill whatever is missing from your life. Either talk to your partner about your feelings or break up, and save both of yourselves the heartache and drawn-out pain. If you are reading this and have been cheated on, I am sorry. I'm sorry from everyone like me, who wishes they could take it back. I'm sorry we hurt you and betrayed your trust. You don't deserve that, and it was a shitty thing to happen, and I'm sorry. Thanks for sharing your story. It takes a lot to admit when you've made mistakes. You're right. It doesn't really matter why you cheated. At the end of the day, cheating breaks trust and causes a lot of pain for everyone involved. It sounds like you were in a really tough situation, feeling isolated in your own home with no support from your partner. But cheating only added to the problems instead of solving them. Besides, you could have just left instead of doing what you did. It seems like both you and your boyfriend have tried to work through it, and that's commendable. But the reality is that some things are just really hard to come back from. Separating your living situation might be a good step for both of you to find some clarity. Even though you're not breaking up, it might help you both figure out what you truly want and need. Maybe some space will allow both of you to heal in a way that living together hasn't. Your message is important. Cheating doesn't fix anything, and the pain it causes is real and lasting. If someone is struggling in their relationship, they're better off communicating their needs or ending things respectfully than stepping out. For those who have been cheated on, it's a reminder that the hurt is valid and that they didn't deserve it. Hopefully, you both find some peace in whatever comes next.